This is a certified
Bob Sponge 10.
classic.
Now, I know we've all had to read this book in high school, but I never bothered to finish it. I recently actually read The Great Gatsby for the first time, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked at the amount of epic gamer parallels that it drew to tales of our own time 100 years later. Now, the story starts with Nick. He gets an invitation to his cousin's house. So he goes there, and it's a classic gamer scenario, right? You got this guy at his cutie pie cousin's house, and she's got this Chad boyfriend, and you're like, dude, I'd be a much better match for her, but you can't, because if you brought up something like that and then she rejected you, then you can't. Then every family reunion for the rest of your life is going to be super awkward, so you just never do. But anyway, very relatable. I'm sure we can all relate to that. And Tom, the prototypical, stereotypical Chad, he even played football in college. So, we're talking next level of, Chad here. And Tom gives this line that some could see as based or red-pilled.
Can't we talk about something else? Anything. Crops. You're making me feel uncivilized, Daisy.
Civilization going to pieces. Have you read The Rise of the Colored Empires by this fellow Goddard? Everybody ought to read it. The idea is that it's up to us, the dominant race, to watch out, or these other races will have control of things.
Tom's very profound lately. He reads deep books with long words in them.
It's been proved. Scientific.
We've got to beat them down.
But you must remember, okay, this is back in 1922. Today, this might be considered esoteric knowledge, but back then, it would be like if somebody walked up to you in the year of our Lord 2022 and started talking to you about Bitcoin as if you had never heard of it. That's what we're dealing with here. This line clearly was to represent the fact that he is a pseudo-intellectual, okay, and nothing more. Now, of course, Chad can never truly love Veronica, Nick, he meets Stacy, Chad's lover, and, he gets sucked into their debauchery, and then after that we get to the meat and potatoes of the story. We finally meet the Great Gatsby. We got Gatsby, who throws these ridiculous parties. Nick actually receives an invitation. And, then, of course, he learns why, because he's Daisy's cousin. But, Gatsby throws these parties just for the hopes that Daisy would just wander in one day, And in high school, we talked about this, and we laughed, We thought, how ridiculous. Why would somebody like Gatsby, this, a filthy rich sort of guy, why would he go to all this trouble for some woman? But, if you know Veronica, then you understand. You understand Gatsby's desperation. When I was younger and more foolish, I did not understand, but now I see. Nick is a part of this whole plot by Gatsby to invite Daisy over to his house so that Gatsby can, come over and surprise her, I guess. And so Nick, of course, being the gamer ally that he is, he invites Daisy over, and Gatsby comes, and they, after a while, Daisy and Gatsby, it's like nothing ever changed, You got Veronica and the Great Gamer together again. And things are the way that they should be. But we've got Chad in all his destruction, in all his malice. He plots to break them apart, even though he himself is having an affair. His Chad-like ways are so destructive that the Great Gamer has no chance, Even though all he ever did was love Veronica. That is simply unacceptable to Chad. Okay. The end of the book, Daisy and Gatsby are driving home after Tom's brutish display to separate them. And of course, Daisy runs over Tom's lover and kills her on accident. And her husband tracks down Gatsby because he recognized his car and performs murder-suicide. Now, this is so poetic. This is so Shakespearean. Gatsby, this man who had it all, even had Veronica at one point, loses it. He's stricken down by some bum from the middle of nowhere for something he didn't even do. And, of course, Veronica and Chad flee, never to be heard from again. And at the end of the book, Gatsby's all alone. His funeral has one attendee, and it's Nick, and that's it.
I rang, I wrote, I implored, but not a single one of the sparkling hundreds that enjoyed his hospitality attended the funeral. And from Daisy, not even a flower. I was all he had, the only one who cared.
Gatsby, in all his desperation and all his plotting, even in all of his illegal activity and all of his bootlegging, the only thing he ever did wrong was let a woman drive. He just simply cannot accept the fact that a gamer will never get ahead. And he believed, until the day he died, that he and Veronica would be reunited again. That's the real tragedy. A gamer who thought he could be a Chad if he just got rich. If he just got ahead enough, he could transform himself into a Chad. But as we all now know, gamers aren't made. Chads aren't made. They're born.